Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Generational Sports. Listen, it's been a long time. Josh, we've been slacking, Josh. I'm not going to lie to you. We've been
Yeah,
slacking. We got to get back on the normal schedule, which we will. I'm making that promise right now. Right now, I'm making it. I don't care what happens, Josh. We're back every Monday. I listen, today's even Tuesday. We're not even doing this on a Monday. But we're going to be back. We're going to be back on the schedule. Listen, we have been busy, but I got different jobs now and a lot of stuff going on. Look at me. I'm wearing nice shirts and
Ooh,
everything. Hey,
fresh.
Dave. You know, I'm just saying. But listen, Josh, how you doing there, bud? Besides the fact that you were telling me backstage that your dog gave you a mean right hook to the eye.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. We have missed a couple weeks, and like Connie said, our schedule is gonna be back to normal. It's gonna be the best NFL season yet for us. So, uh, be looking out for that. But yeah, it has been a rough couple weeks. I am not gonna lie. So the basement is still very poopy,
Okay.
uh, and unfortunately, that has affected the toilets. They do not like flushing anymore. So there have been trips to gas stations, multiple times a day because you boys got to go sometimes, and it's just annoying, when people say they're going to show up and then they don't, and the problems just keep getting worse. That's just how it goes. And it- it's getting to a point to where like the people that are supposed to come by are going to do it for free. It's no charge to us. They just do it because the owner of this home is a good guy. But it's getting to a point where it's like I might have to pay somebody. Might have to pay somebody to
I
get
was
this
gonna
fixed.
say, listen, if it's that bad, might have to dig into the wallet.
Yeah, yeah. And as Connie said, yeah, Boog, my dog, has been on the show many times. He did give me a nasty right hook, cut my eyeball, so it is it looks very bad. It's not great. So it's been a tough couple weeks. Tough, tough.
This guy can't catch a break.
I just can't. I just can't.
Unbelievable. But hey,
How are you doing, Connie?
Josh, I'm doing well. So, like I don't know if I've talked about it before, but my boy was working in the alternative financing space for a little bit, and he was down in the city. They kept telling me, "Yo, you should come do it." I was like, "Listen, if you think I'm going to the city every day, you're out of your damn mind." Well, my boy ended up getting an office up here by me, with a different company and things of that nature. And listen, I don't really do anything during the day. I didn't have another job besides the Renegade, so I was like, hell, I'm gonna give it a try because I'll say it's all commission. So like, if you're not selling, you're not getting paid. But like, listen, I was doing nothing during the day, so I was like, listen, I can go there and attempt to make money, or I can just lay in bed. So
Right.
I've been doing that for the last like month now. I don't really consider it the first week official because we were still setting things up and having some tech problems. So I'd say about 3.5 weeks I'll give it. But I've already funded 2 deals, uh,
Ooh,
which apparently is like unheard of for the like my friend said he was doing this, going to the city every day and wasn't making money for like a year.
damn.
But he just believed in the grind, and thankfully he stuck with it because I'm reaping all the rewards now. He's doing well. Set up the office here. The learning curve is a lot, shorter. Um, so I've been doing that. Obviously, the Renegades are back, so I've been, with them as well. Still living that dream, but I've been busy, man. I will say it is a. I mean, I'm at the office by 8:30, so I'm usually up 7:30. The nights I have the Renegades. I'm not getting home till like 10:30. So your boy.
What are we selling again? What is?
So we do cash advances, SBAs, lines of credit, ERCs, things of that nature. Because
We sold two
listen,
of them.
Robin,
We sold two of them.
I've gotten two people to take some cash advances from the kid.
Listen, I've tried a commission based job before, and it's not easy. You gotta know how to talk to people. You gotta
I
know.
am very good at talking to people.
I can tell you, I knew you'd be good at something like that. Like
Yeah,
that
I
makes
am.
sense.
I am very good at talking to people. I'm not gonna lie. So
I'm not good at that. I'm not good.
like I said, my boy's been trying to get me to do this forever, but I always told him, I was like, bro, I am not going to the city.
Right.
So he brought the office to me instead. And it's been fun. Listen, it's long days, it's tedious, you know. I'm sitting there making phone calls literally all day. Sometimes people aren't answering, and you finally get someone to answer. Oh, I'm not interested. You know, go jump off a bridge. Yeah, cool.
So we're just straight cold calling. Like,
Oh yeah, we're cold calling. We're cold calling, and then we also get some better leads where it's people that have recently applied. But I mean, I've talked to people. I've been out of business for 5 years. What are you talking about? So listen, it varies, but I'm in the office with my boy, a couple other kids I went to school with. It's a fun experience, you know. And
that does sound cool though, but being able to work and like make money, but also you're with your boys a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. Like
that's nice.
And it's not really like a 9 to 5, typical thing. Like you can go in 7 o'clock and you can stay until 10 o'clock if you want to hit the West Coast people.
Right.
So it's kind of like I honestly I look at it like baseball. And it's funny I say that because I'm watching the Yankee game right now. But baseball, you're a part of the team, right? Clearly. But you can be the most selfish person in the world because it's baseball. It's a 1v1, you and the pitcher. Right. So listen, if you fund something for $100,000 and it's commission and you just made 6 bands off of that, listen, it did nothing for me.
Yeah.
Right. Because we are a part of the team, but it's not like you're going to be like, oh, hey, Connie, here's $4,000. Have fun.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the days go by fast. Like I said, I mean, I got in, 8:45 today. I got home, 20 minutes ago. But it don't feel like that because we're on the phone, so the time goes by fast, and then you're getting to the side BS conversations. You have a nice lunch break, blah blah, things like that. So it's fun. It's fun. I'll say that. But listen, enough about me. How about we get into everything? And
wait, we haven't been on a couple weeks. Did you see the new Guardians?
I have not seen it.
You gotta see it.
I do want to see it. I'm looking to see it, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Very good. Very, very good.
Okay. That's what I like.
Probably best content they've put out since Multiverse of Madness, probably.
Oh, okay.
I would say.
Okay.
Better than the shows that have come out. I think it's better than Quantumania.
Okay.
That much I like. But I'm a big Guardians guy. You're not. So
I'm not a big Guardians guy at all. Yeah. So we will find out what happens. But I do want to see it. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But hopefully I will one of these days. But let's get into the news. We'll start off with the NBA because we got the Celtics and the Heat. Game 4 is tonight. And listen, who would have thought it is 3-0 Heat? You make it into the play-in game, and it's kind of like, oh, yeah, they're in the play-in. No matter who wins these play-in games, it won't really turn into anything. And then all of a sudden, the Heat win. They go on and they win a series. They win another series.
Beat the crap out the Bucks.
Yeah, just destroy. What was it? 4-1 in that? Was that 4-1?
Yeah, 4-1.
So they 4-1 the Bucks. What are they?
6 games with the Knicks or 5?
I think it was 6 with the Knicks. And now they can potentially sweep the Celtics, who were in the finals last year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Like, who would have thought the Knicks would have given them the most trouble?
Right. Yeah.
Like, they had to play the Bucks with Giannis and blah, blah, all this. You think, okay, well, they're definitely not going to make it past that. Well, they end up making it past it. And then, they play the Knicks. And honestly, I think more people were thinking that the Heat were going to win than the Knicks anyway. But still, it's like, oh, they had a little bit of problem with the Knicks. That means the Celtics are going to destroy them. Celtics made the finals last year. They're a great defensive team. They got star players with Tatum and it's 3-0. 3-0. I mean, I've been watching them more than I did during the regular season. It's wild. Like I don't think anybody saw it coming.
Yeah, it's crazy impressive what they've been doing. Uh, Jimmy Butler has just been the best player on the planet. Like he just, when it comes down late game, he's just done everything perfectly. They got just undrafted guys just putting 29. Gabe Vincent had 29 in that game
Did you
against
see the
Boston.
stat in Game 3 at in the second quarter?
Uh-uh.
He undrafted players were 12 of 17 for 33 points, and the Celtics as a team at that point in the game had 35 points.
Yeah, I mean it's
The
it's been
undrafted players.
yeah, guys that just had to scratch and crawl just to get on a roster are now in the conference finals
That
beating up.
scouting department got to get a raise.
It's crazy that Eric Spoelstra has never won a Coach of the Year. Like
Really?
that's yeah, never in this whole entire era with the big three, and made the finals with Jimmy. Never won a Coach of the Year. Been a one seed multiple times. Never won it.
A little odd to
The
me.
NBA is the sport the most where almost every year the Coach of the Year is not deserving. Like they get bounced to the first or second round, but just because an unexpected team had a good season, they're the Coach of the Year. But yeah, it's been impressive. They're one of the few teams in the NBA that can run a zone whenever they want, and it's successful. I mean, even Bam's been up and down throughout the playoffs, but his defense has been insane. Max Strus, Duncan Robinson, who, everybody's saying he robbed the Heat because he got like a 4-year, 90 mil off of the bubble and then was out of the rotation. He's been huge for them late. And the Celtics, I mean, I don't really know what to say too much about them. It's just the Heat are playing better. Tatum obviously hasn't.
Can I say the one thing though?
What?
I hate it, and I know it's the coach taking blame for the team and things of that nature. I didn't have them ready to play. What does that even mean? First of all, even if you didn't have them ready to play, first of all, bad on you. Yeah, whatever. He's probably just trying to take blame because the players suck. But as the players, you're not ready to play when you're down 2-0 and you just got beat the first two games in your own house, and now you're on the road. You're about to go down 3-0. You're not ready to play. What does that even mean?
Yeah,
how are you not ready to play?
Especially like I get that if it's the first game of the regular season,
Yes.
but they've played this game 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
Listen, I would even understand it if they had just played a 7-game series and then this was game one of like the second round, third round, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, oh yeah, we weren't ready to play. We were tired, or I didn't scout the next team good enough because, we were still focused on that game 7. So we weren't ready to play for this team, blah, blah, blah. I would understand that more. It's the third game of the series. You just got bodied on your own floor.
If that doesn't make you ready, what will?
That's the thing. Because here's the thing, right? If it's the opposite, right, and the Heat were down 2-0, you go into game 3 and you're like, well, they just have to win their home games. If the Celtics won their home games, now the Heat just have to win theirs. It'd be fine and dandy, whatever. You lost at home.
Yeah.
Does that not give off like giant sirens and like, oh God, we're kind of screwed here? Like, how is that not like, oh, we're in trouble? Shouldn't that be your first thought?
Joe Mazzulla's had a tough playoff stretch. I mean, I don't know why he came out or why it came out that he watches The Town like 10 times a week.
Yeah,
that wasn't great for him. Going home with like 4 timeouts in a big game last round. He's not had a great postseason run, especially because, the second he messes up, it's like, oh, if we had Ime Udoka, if he didn't mess up, we'd be even better. But the Celtics, I know they're trying to stir the pot a little bit now. Grant Williams, like, what were you doing? Like, why would you go at Jimmy? Like, you just got back in the rotation, man. Like, that's the man of the playoffs.
Don't you know that's Jimmy Butler?
Exactly. Like, it was out of all the people, you should not have messed with him. I think they win tonight, though. I do think the Celtics get one tonight. I just like the Lakers last night. I thought they were going to win, with LeBron having 40 and, just these teams with their backs against the wall. They almost won it. I think Boston is going to come out here and win it. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Josh, can I say what I thought? was an absolutely wonderful joke by me yesterday that I had.
What?
So my boy in the group chat, we were at my other friend's house for the night. He's going to Chicago for a little internship over the summer at some golf course. I don't know what it is, um, but so we get home and then he starts watching the game. We're texting the group chat. He goes, he said the Lakers are good for one. And I texted back when they lost. I said, yeah, a one-way trip to Cabo. I thought that was fantastic.
That is good.
I thought that was just great. I'm not
That-
going to lie. I was proud of myself for that one. I really was.
That is a good one. I won't lie. Yeah,
I made myself giggle, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, who do you think wins tonight? You think Boston gets one, or you think Miami completes a sweep?
Man. You know what? Nah. Sweep. It's over. You lost by like 30 in game 3.
Yeah.
And I'm all of a sudden supposed to pick them? Hell no. I'm going.
Marcus Smart says, "Don't let him win one."
Listen, Marcus. Defensive Player of the Year, correct? Last year?
Yeah, last season. Yeah.
Stick to defense, brother.
But doesn't this series feel like it's never happened? No one's come back from 0-3. But don't these two teams feel like the one where it's like, okay, because it's an 8 seed. It's a team that went to the finals last year. Like, if there is a series that it's going to happen in, doesn't it feel like it would be this with Tatum?
I mean, listen, anything's possible. And if it does end up happening, I'm sure that, we're famous enough that it'll be on the, all the highlight reels of, on the championship tape. It'll be like, see what these idiots said. I would much rather that happen than me have faith that they're coming back. I just don't think it's possible.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I could see them just getting one. Like, I think they will. I don't think we get 2 sweeps in the conference finals. Like, one of these.
Honestly, I kind of want them to sweep, though, just because I want them to be able to celebrate at home. I hate the away team celebrating.
Yeah, that it does.
Like the Nuggets yesterday, it was so boring because like they were.
Did you hear the announcer? Like, he's like, "Congrats to the Nuggets."
He's like, what are you supposed to say?
Yeah, that I don't like that either. Especially if it's a finals game too. Like, you just won it all and it's just silence.
Yeah, you're holding up the trophy and everybody's staring at you like they want to storm the court.
Yeah. I guess winning at home. Yeah, rooting for Miami, but I think Boston's going to win.
We'll see what happens. Speaking of sweeps and things of that nature, celebrating on the away field. I would say field because I'm watching the Yankee game right now. The Nuggets swept those Lakers right out of the playoffs. Like I said, a one-way ticket to Cabo. That's another one. You just don't see it. I just didn't think it was going to happen. Especially because, right, like I said yesterday, we're at my boy's house, getting the little going away party, whatever. My boy's talking about, oh yeah, LeBron's got like 31 at half. They're up 15 points. Time passes. I look down. Notification from ESPN. Nuggets outscore Lakers by 20 points in third quarter to take a 93-86 lead or something like that. I really looked at my phone like 6 times because the first time I read it, I was like, damn, Nuggets really like stormed back. And then I looked at it again. I was like, wait, the Nuggets are winning? And I had to look at it again to confirm because I thought like, yeah, they stormed back, outscored them by 20, and they're down still 93-86. I really looked at it like 3 times. I was like, wait a minute, that says they're winning now?
Yeah.
And then I got home for like the last 5 minutes. Great, a good end to the game. Terrible play call at the end of the game, though. Like
the buzzer beater?
Yeah, I don't know. First of all, I didn't like that Jamal Murray shot the ball with some time left on the clock.
Yeah, that was a weird shot selection. Going to the post.
And it wasn't even, it definitely wasn't a high percentage shot, to say the least. So he gave him about 4 seconds. And then, actually, before that, there was the LeBron had the ball, and they're basically just standing there dribbling. It brings it down to like, a few seconds on the clock, and nothing happens. And then that last play, I was like, bro, what are we doing?
Yeah, it was. I didn't like it because there was no mismatch there. I think they were probably trying to get Aaron Gordon off of LeBron so LeBron could quickly go to the basket, try to get fouled. But Denver's defense was just so locked in there. Aaron Gordon got around all the screens, didn't try to jump the passing lane, try to steal the inbound. And I thought LeBron, I don't know, it was. I like the earlier possession when they were like just milking the clock. I don't know why they were doing that. Like try to get the bucket quicker, so just in case you miss. But they just milked 14 seconds, and then he swung it to Dennis and tried to quickly swing it to Reeves, and it got poked out. And then it's like, well, now you have to run an out of bounds play, which I would rather not. I'd rather be able to run a motion or something. And then it gets blocked at the end, and now I don't think that's the last time we see LeBron. I doubt he's going to go out like that. And I know he said in his post game that he was like thinking about basketball, but I think that's just with the Lakers. I don't think he's done playing basketball.
He said like 87 times that he wants to play with his kid. His kid's almost to the league. You think he's going to stop now?
Yeah. I don't think that's the last time we saw him, but it was a bad shot selection. I thought they should have gone somewhere else because they're expecting LeBron to shoot. He's got 41, and I get that he's got 41, the best player on the team, but he's always a make the right play guy. So put him in a position where he can do that. Then if not, he'll take the shot. But they had no one else moving on that last shot. It was just LeBron, which I thought was a little weird with 4 seconds still.
Yeah, definitely could have been a better play call. We'll say that. So we talked about the Celtics and Heat before. Obviously now you mentioned that the Nuggets sweep. So you assume that the Heat are going to win the series. Well, maybe not tonight, whatever. But you assume that they're going to win the series considering nobody's ever come back from a 3-0 deficit. You got what's your prediction for the finals? A little Heat Nugget final. I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking the Nugs.
I don't know. It's probably the least hyped finals. I think that's happened in quite.
Yeah, I don't think ESPN or technically Disney, because they also own ABC and ESPN. I don't think they're very hyped about it.
Not when it could have been Lakers Celtics. I think they're pretty disappointed with the outcome.
No, they're definitely not thrilled. I'll say that.
Yeah, didn't get either of them. That was their worst possible outcome. It was.
I mean, you even look on Twitter. All of it is like, what about the Lakers now? Instead of like, oh wow, look what the Nuggets did. It's like, it's like anti-Laker instead of like pro-Nugget.
Yeah. It just got to be Lakers and LeBron content, whether it's positive or negative. Got to be surrounding them. But this series is going to be, for all the guys that like to look in depth in games and they're not just looking at the highlight plays. All the people are like, oh, that's a great motion offense, or that's some great, switching. This series is going to be heaven for them with that Denver rotation and that Miami rotation. And really this run, I mean, both teams are both super healthy, right? Like Denver is full 5 out there.
Anybody who's hurt.
And Miami hasn't had any injuries. So, knock on wood. But that's going to be huge for both teams too. This series is going to be so weird because it's, the best team all season in Denver and a team that came through in the playoffs looking like the best team in the East in Miami. But I am going with Jimmy Butler and the Heat in the finals. I think they get it done.
I just think Jokic is on a mission. I think Jokic is on a mission.
I'm going 7 games, though. 7 games.
I'll go 7 games, too. I just think Jokic is on a mission. Not to prove himself because he's a 2-time MVP. Like, what do you have to prove? But I think in his head, he's like, I really gave it to Joel Embiid. He's like, I could be a 3-time, 3 in a row MVP. But voter fatigue. You gave it to Joel Embiid. Like, he's probably like, he won the MVP. So the people think he's the best center in the league now.
Yeah.
Well, let me show you a little something.
I don't think it's ever, flipped so quickly because I was on the Embiid MVP train too. Like you picked Jokic, I picked Embiid, and I don't think I've ever gone from like, give it to Embiid. Then the second he wins it, literally everyone switched. They're like, Jokic robbed. Like, why did we give Joel MVP? Like, look at what Jokic is doing. What were you thinking? But
Did you see the thing I was watching in Sports Center before this? That the Nuggets as a team, the team shot like 50, 40, 80 from the field or from like the field 3-point and the free throw line as a team.
That
If
is
you do
crazy.
that as a player, that's like a known thing. It's like, wow, you had a great year. The team did it.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
And the
mean,
Lakers are a good defensive team.
yeah, Lakers best defense like in the playoffs. Like they have been easily the best defensive team. I mean, the Nuggets are just they're locked in, man. They're locked in. I'm kind of excited for the finals, but hype behind it is going to be so dead. So it's just going to be a lot of Jimmy Butler compilations and Jokic highlights. That's
No,
all
literally,
it's
it's
going
going to be Jokic passing it like behind the back, and then Jimmy
to be.
Butler dunking, and that's every single highlight reel going to be.
A lot of Jamal Murray memes too. I bet a lot of
I've
those.
already seen a lot.
Really already.
Somebody was like, oh, what was it? It was like somebody or like Jamal Murray's on or like has like powers right now, and it was a picture. You don't see anything, but it was like the
Right,
girl.
yeah.
It was like the girl's face, and it was like these are the powers.
Oh man.
The internet will never be defeated. It is forever undefeated. It really
Oh,
is.
lots of Rachel Nichols memes coming too. Lots of those.
That's a good point.
So it might be actually pretty entertaining lead up to the finals. Actually,
Hey, I'm all for it. I'm all for
they
it.
start June 1st. So if it's a sweep today, they got to fill the time with something.
This is a good point. What do you think the Lakers need to do in the offseason to reach the finals, though? What do they got to do?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they should be too worried about LeBron. You know, if it happened, you're screwed anyway. So don't even think of it as a possibility. Just be like, okay, LeBron's back, AD's back. You gotta. I don't even know what to call it, but you gotta give Austin Reeves the money. Like you can't lose him. He was so impactful in this playoff run.
My boy
So
said that yesterday. He said you got to give him a max. I looked at him crazy, though.
I
A
think
max?
I think his like the most he can earn this offseason was 60 mil. I think that's the contract he gets, 5 or 4 for 60. And I think that might be an overpay if you're paying him to, average 15 and just be a role player when you're the Lakers and Kyrie Irving is out there. But if there's a possibility to get Kyrie and keep Austin Reeves, I think you try to do that. But I think, you just got to try to find more guys like Vanderbilt. Maybe bring back Rui. I don't know what his value is out there. D'Lo, probably going to have to let D'Lo walk. He was not good in those last 2 rounds. So you're probably going to have to let him walk. Schroeder, don't know about his contract. But this free agency class isn't super deep either. So, some lower tier guys are going to get paid more just because they're in the right offseason for their, situation. So I could see the Lakers overpaying, but you just got to find 3-and-D guys. Like you got LeBron and AD. You made the right moves at the deadline and it worked out for you. You got to the conference finals. So just more 3-and-D guys and, guys that are willing to take a lesser role and do the dirty work for guys like LeBron and AD. Same formula since they got LeBron and AD. Nothing's changed.
Basically,
it's just the same formula.
Just gotta tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. Try to get Kyrie though, because if that's an option, you got to do that.
It's a good point. It's a very, very good point. All right. Now, this is an interesting topic. The Nuggets retire 15. Are you retiring it for Melo or for Jokic? Because obviously, Carmelo just retired. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. We all know that. Jokic is already a Hall of Famer because he has 2 MVPs. That's kind of like instant Hall of Fame access to me, basically. Who is it technically going to be retired for? Honestly, and maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm younger. I only think of Melo as number 7.
I agree.
Like, in my eyes, it's Jokic.
Yeah, and I mean, by the time it's all said and done, Jokic is going to be the best player in Nuggets history. Like he's already got 2 MVPs. He just brought them to their first finals ever. Like no one's ever done that for Denver. But Melo kind of like saved the franchise for a solid, almost decade.
Yeah.
They made a conference finals run too, but ran into Kobe. I think it should be retired for Jokic. I do think they're going to try to find a way to honor Melo still, though. like some sort of banner or something. I don't know exactly what it'll be. But I think also.
How about this? And I literally only know of the Yankees doing this. The Yankees have number 8 retired twice.
Because they have like every number retired, right? Like it's impossible.
They have 1 through 9 is all retired. Then they have, like other numbers, but whatever. They have. Listen, that's what happens when you have a lot of great players.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's got to be cool.
They have number 8 retired twice though, because I believe. Well, one was for Yogi Berra, who best catcher in their franchise, and the other number 8 was Elston Howard, because I believe he was the first Yankee that broke the color barrier. So, like, I don't know. Can you technically like retire it twice?
Yeah.
Or retire, or like just hang two jerseys in the rafter.
Yeah, it could just be 250.
Retire, then have a Melo jersey and have a Jokic jersey and just call it a day.
I think Jokic would be like, oh, they retired jerseys here? Like, I bet he doesn't give a shit about.
No, he probably doesn't care.
So
he's going to go back home to wherever. I can't even remember where he's from.
Is he from Serbia? Is he Serbian?
Start riding like a uke around.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't care. He's going to be like, give it to Melo.
Is that what those things are called? Like the little shaggy looking things with the horns? A uke?
A what?
Or a Yule? A Yule?
Is this a vehicle?
No. It's an animal.
A Yule?
I believe it. A Yule is an animal. I'm going to look it up.
Yule? Sounds like a name from Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yule animal.
Yule?
Oh, that's not what I'm thinking of. Hold on. Maybe it's a uke.
A uke? I've heard of a uke.
Oh, what are those like shaggy looking? They almost look like the thing from Star Wars.
Like an alpaca?
Nah, I know what an alpaca is. I'm gonna have to find out one of these days, and I'll let the people know. But right now, I cannot remember what it is. I thought it started with a Y, but whatever. Listen, we'll move on to the NFL though, because it never sleeps, and it will forever be a driving point of this show and media across the world. With that being said, Josh, I see a little start bench cut here. Who you got for me?
I do. I got 3 different positions. Got quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers.
Okay.
Didn't just go with the cream of the crop. Wanted to make it like all guys kind of in the same realm-ish a little bit. Except for the quarterbacks. I think the quarterback's an interesting one.
All right.
We'll start with Tua. Start bench cut Tua, Russell Wilson, Derek Carr. This one I thought was very tough. I
think people are going to be mad at me, which I love, first of all. I would still start Russell Wilson. I know it was a terrible year for him, but I think he's going to be much better this year with Sean Payton. I just don't think Hackett was a very good coach. It took him a year to get used to the offense and everything like that. Obviously, Sean Payton is a much better coach. I think I would start Russell Wilson. I would honestly, I'm not going to lie, I think that I would bench Derek Carr.
Really?
I think I would cut Tua mainly because he's in his 4th season?
Yeah.
Has had multiple concussions. He did admit that he was absolutely thinking about the retirement thing for a quick second or whatever. I know it was a quick, but the fact that he even had to think about it, what happens if he gets 1 more this year or 2 more this year? Could be over.
So you're big in the bounce back season for Russ and Carr. You think that last year isn't what they truly are.
Well, I don't think Russ is definitely not that bad. There's no way.
I think he might be.
I don't know. That's one hell of a cliff to fall
Listen,
off.
Look at what Seattle I think Geno Smith balling out last year is much more of a testament to what Seattle did for Russ than what Russ did to Seattle. Like Russ is very talented. Don't get me wrong. He's very talented. He's shown that many
So what
times.
would you have done in this?
I'm starting Tua. I think outside of the injuries last year, he was the best, and I think he is the better quarterback out of the three to me. Like, obviously the injuries are an issue, but with Russ, you got to worry about what is he going to say? Is he going to wear the same jersey, which is his jersey every day? Is he going to keep us up all night on the plane doing high knees through the aisles? There's a lot of things you got to worry about with him. With Derek Carr,
listen, there's no doubt he's a strange man.
Yeah, so there's a couple things I might not want in my locker room. If he wants, if he's going to offer me $100 so he can tear down my locker so he can make a super locker, I don't want to deal with those problems. Derek Carr, I don't know. I know he had that MVP season, but then the injuries hit him. He had that bad injury, and he did not look that good last year. I know it wasn't all on him. There were big problems in the Raiders organization, for a little bit, and he's just had to deal with it. But he got
Never
his best.
Had a defense better than 25th.
Yeah, I could see that. But he had his best friend in Devontae Adams. There Waller was. Actually Waller.
Did you see Devontae Adams' comments recently too?
Oh, about not being too ecstatic about what's going on.
It might not be a quarterback problem, Mr. Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, that's a weird situation there. But I would start to a bench Russ, cut Carr. That would be the way I do it. But I think because I just think Tua, you look at that tape from the Baltimore game last year. He had many games. He had a couple games like that last year, and obviously the concussions, kind of stopped us from being able to see what that offense was. I think I go Tua, Russ, Carr, and then the next one we're going to running backs.
Okay.
There's a guy on here. I think I know how your list is going to go, but I'm interested. Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor.
Who's the first one again?
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, I'd start. I think I would. Oof. Do they all have the same offensive line?
Let's
Let's
say they all got
same offensive line,
all above average offensive line, like very nice.
I think
they can have their best season like this.
I think I would start Jonathan Taylor, bench Saquon, and cut Josh Jacobs.
Cutting Josh Jacobs, league leader last year.
I know he was, but I think Jonathan Taylor as a talent is definitely better than Josh Jacobs.
Saquon's injuries not worrying you too much right here with
No, they do, but I also think like some of his injuries have been weird. Like he had the ACL thing, which obviously, but like I remember he hurt his ankle because somebody like stepped back on it and like twisted it. Like that's not really his fault. That's just kind of luck. Mm-hmm. And the receiving threat that he gives you, I can't justify cutting either one of them for Josh Jacobs. Like if it was Kamara or like CMC or Derrick Henry, like then you can have a conversation about like, the injuries with Saquon or Jonathan Taylor, was he a one-hit wonder, things of that, blah, blah, blah. But for Josh Jacobs, who, yes, I know, league leader in rushing last season, was absolutely incredible. I can't do it.
I disagree, shocker. I would start Saquon. I think behind a good we saw him last year behind a decent O-line, and he was very, very good. I am benching Josh Jacobs and cutting Jonathan Taylor. Wow. I don't know how to feel about Jonathan Taylor. I feel better about Josh Jacobs than I do Jonathan Taylor. I don't want to call him a one-hit wonder.
Okay.
But I don't think he is that guy. I think he's very talented, but a whole offense surrounded on him. I think I'd take the other two guys, being a 20-plus carry, 25 touches, than Jonathan Taylor. I like Josh Jacobs' body of work, and I like his build a little bit more. I feel like he's a little bit more heavier down low, and I need that in my running backs if they're going to be, my workhorse. And Saquon, we know about those thighs. Like, those things are huge. Pause. but they're huge.
What did he say?
And then Josh Jacobs, yeah, I could be doing, buying to the hype because of last year, but man's contract was on the line. Nobody believed in him. He went out and led the league and said,
Well, had an unbelievable year.
yeah. So I'm gonna go with Jacobs over Taylor. Not to say Taylor's bad, but I don't think we're gonna see that crazy year he had again. I think he can still easily be 1,100, 1,200 yard guy, but I think Josh Jacobs could multiple times go for 14 to 1,500.
Fair enough.
Now the receivers, I think this one might be the toughest. We'll see what you think. CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith. I'll give you mine first so you can think about it.
Yeah.
I'm starting Devonta Smith. I think he's the best route runner and has the best hands of the three. I think he makes the tougher catches. I'm going to start Devonta Smith, bench Jalen Waddle, and cut CeeDee Lamb.
Really?
That is, I think Devonta and Waddle as the best receiver on the team with a lower tier rest of the guys. I think the receiving group doesn't take as much of a hit when that's the only guy. I think CeeDee needs a great number 2 or a solid enough 2 and 3 to be, amazing. Like, I don't know. I don't see it in CeeDee what Waddle and Smith have shown me. I think Devonta Smith is, if A.J. Brown's not there, I think that receiving core, still survives if he was healthy. And, Waddle, I think he's a little tired. He's a younger Tyreek Hill the way he plays. Like, he's that good. I'd go Smith, Waddle, CeeDee Lamb. Not to say CeeDee's bad either. I just think these guys are better.
See, I hate the Cowboys, and I think I would start CeeDee Lamb.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I really like
the
what
production is always going to be there because Dak's going to throw for 40 passes a game.
Right.
But I'm talking about who I want on my squad.
I think I'm just a complete opposite. I think I would start CD. I think I'd bench Waddle. I would cut Smith.
You'd cut Devonta Smith. Okay.
I think I would cut Devonta Smith.
We got reasoning behind the rankings?
I think CD has the better, like, prototypical wide receiver body. I think he can absorb, like, those hits over the middle. We've seen him make some unbelievable catches. Waddle probably has the worst hands out of all of them.
That is true. He does drop something.
But you can't teach speed.
That you can't now.
You can go to the jugs machine and learn how to catch a little bit better, but you can't teach speed. And I couldn't cut him. And Smith, listen, he's unbelievable. But I wasn't really in love with him as much his rookie year. And then obviously he took a jump this year. But that's because, A.J. Brown also got there. So you're definitely leaning coverage towards him. This is the thing that's been said about him forever. He keeps proving people wrong, but he is, a small stature guy.
That is
so
true.
You worry about that as the career hits start piling up. So I think I'd go CD, Waddle, and then cut him.
Interesting. And those are the only 3 I got. We'll do more next week, though.
I enjoyed that. All right, we're gonna go. We're gonna do some preseason predictions. All right. And we're gonna run through it a little bit. Josh, who do you think the most disappointing team this season is going to be?
Yeah, by disappointing, I put it out there as, successful or a better season last year, and you're expecting them to build on it, maybe reach the playoffs or something like that. So the team I think is not going to take that step forward, maybe even take a step back, is the New York Giants. I don't think that they did a ton this offseason to really get that much better. They paid Danny his money, so they're going to be there. He has to ball out. They drafted Jalen Hyatt, who I had going much higher. That was a good pick for them, but they really didn't address that receiving. They got Darren Waller, but we'll see how impactful he's going to be in that offense, see how the connection with him and Danny Dimes is. But they really just bet on Daniel Jones. That's kind of what their offseason was we're going to bet on him, got him a weapon. But I don't think that team is going to repeat what they did last year. I just don't see it happening. I think they finished 9-7 last year, made the playoffs because of how bad the rest of, the couple divisions over there were. So I think they're gonna take a little step back. Maybe only win 7 or 8 games. I don't see them winning 9 or 10 this season.
I'm going to stay in the same stadium.
Oh, okay.
I think we're going to go with the Jets.
Mm.
Now, I say disappointing because I think right now they got like the 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl. Like, I don't get me wrong, I think they will end up making the playoffs. So, I mean, I guess how disappointing can that be? I think it's another first round exit, though, if they do. Listen, the defense is good. Breece Hall will be back. You'll have Aaron Rodgers, and you'll be riding high. It just seems, I don't know. I just don't see it. Maybe it's because, Rodgers has always not loved throwing to the young receivers, and
true.
I'm not the biggest fan of their offensive line, and obviously Rodgers is going to need time. He has a little bit of mobility to him, but it's obviously nothing crazy.
Tough division too. Playing
very tough division. Hell, the whole conference is
true.
He couldn't get through the NFC.
Yeah.
What makes you think he can get through the AFC? Now, listen, it's obviously a completely different team. The defense is very good. We saw that last year. Like I said, I don't love the offensive line. Honestly, I think that receiving core is vastly overrated. Like, I think Garrett Wilson is a dog. Other than that,
Miko?
He's fast.
Who else did they pick up?
Lazard's on the Packers. What'd they do with him?
It's true.
Randall Cobb? Ooh.
Yeah.
Man, 70. Like, yeah. I don't know. I think they may make the playoffs, but it'll be a wild card. I think they'll be 1-0.
Not believing in the hype.
I believe that'll be a disappointment. Who do you think the most surprising team's going to be?
Yeah, so I don't mean surprising as in, because Jacksonville jumped from number 1 overall pick to a nice little playoff run. I don't think this team is going to do that, but they did have the number 1 overall pick. I'm going with the Bears. I think the Bears are going to be an impressive team this season. I'm a huge believer in Justin Fields, have been since I wanted the Panthers to draft him. So I think they're going to take a nice jump. I like what they did with the receiving group. I still think Claypool can be a very, very good receiver in the league, especially not having to be number 1 and, being a solid, established number 2. Mooney is finally in the right position, as a third guy, as a slot guy. So I think that I like the Bears a lot. I like Justin Fields too. I think he's going to take a huge jump. Now, he gets a lot of hate because there's not a lot of great film out there of him throwing the ball well in the NFL. But he does have a really nice arm, and it can be very accurate. And all the reports this offseason are that he's looked really, really sharp. So I'm going to go with the Bears. I think they finished 3-14, worst record in the league. I think they're going to be, fighting for a wild card with a few weeks left in the season.
I'm looking. See, I don't feel like the Lions are surprising anymore. But I low-key feel like I can see them in a championship game.
Ooh. Okay.
It's like, I don't know if that counts. But I'll say it doesn't. And honestly, I would go with the Bears too. I think the Bears are going to take a nice little leap here.
They always seem to have a solid defense too. Like, regardless of the names on there, when the team is good, that defense for some reason is
literally. They're playing with Timbuktu, and all of a sudden they're good.
Yeah.
So, I would agree with you on the Bears. I think that they're going to take that leap. Who? Houston had the second pick. No, they're still going to be terrible.
Yeah, and then Arizona, and then Indianapolis, and then.
Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked if Indy was good.
Yeah, I just don't know when is Richardson going to start week 1. How long is it going to be?
I don't think he will, but still, I think the team will be healthier. Hopefully Shaq Leonard can come back. A defense will be a lot better, obviously. I think the Colts could be good. What QB do you think will improve the most from last season?
I'm going to go with a young guy, which makes sense now, obviously, because those are the guys that usually make jumps. Some veterans that I thought could maybe on here, maybe Jimmy G, has a good year. Maybe Derek Carr improves, maybe Russell Wilson improves. Those are like some of the other choices. But I'm going to go with the guy who No, we really didn't see it until the last season, so I don't know about improve, but I think he's going to make a name for himself. I'm going Sam Howell in Washington.
Okay.
I think he's going to win the job. I don't think Jacoby's going to win it. Sam Howell is a guy who, we talk about Drake May right now coming out of UNC. Sam Howell's first couple of years at UNC, he was the guy too. But then he kind of had a situation similar to Anthony Richardson where all the talent left him when it was his year to shine. So that's kind of what happened to Sam Howell. His draft year, he fell all the way to like the 4th round. But with the receiving core over there, with his arm, I think Sam Howell is going to have a really nice season.
I'm going to go with Kenny Pickett.
Mm.
I liked what I saw out of him in stretches last year. You have a full year in the offense now. I think that they're going to get I can't think of his name. Who's the wide receiver? The rookie that was last year with him.
With Kenny. Oh, Jordan. Wait, who are you talking
about? George Pickens?
Yeah, George Pickens.
I think that they're going to have him involved in the offense more. I think Pickett has a nice. I wouldn't even say, it's not a bounce back here. I think he makes an improvement this year, and is going to end up being a lot better. Maybe Najee will be healthy. What happened?
You see what Big Ben said to Kenny Pickett?
I did not.
He said that when he was first watching him first couple of weeks, he really didn't want him to succeed because he was selfish and didn't want him to, take over that quickly after Ben because Ben felt like he still could have had a couple more.
You know what? I respect the honesty.
Yeah, I mean, that's just straight up a mentality. I don't know why he said it, but I understand what he's saying. Like,
no, I was going to say I respect it and I get it.
I just don't know why he would say
listen, I am openly a selfish person. If you take over my job, I do not want you to succeed.
Especially right away. Right away.
Like, should I feel bad about that? I don't know, maybe. But, like, I don't want you to be good at my job.
Yeah.
Like, I pray every time somebody starts doing something that I have to do, they're awful at it.
Kenny Pickett looked real uncomfortable in the situation, too. He was like, how do I even, thanks for believing in me now? Or, what do I say? He just looked real uncomfortable.
And then what second-year player, Josh, do you think is going to improve the most?
Yeah, I'm going to a receiver. This last year's class had a lot of good talent at receiver. And I'm going with the team that also just got a new rookie quarterback. I think he's going to wind up taking over at some point in the season. Will Levis will take over, but I'm going to go with Treylon Burks to have a good second year. Robert Woods is gone. They don't really have too many weapons over there besides, the ultimate weapon in Derrick Henry. So I think when Levis takes over, they might start letting him throw it, especially if he takes over early. That means they believe in him a lot and Tannehill's not doing too great, or they just really believe in Levis. But I think Treylon Burks is going to have a really good second year for them.
Who is – I can't think of his name. The wide receiver on the Commanders.
The rookie last year?
Yeah.
Jahan Dotson?
He's going to be a dog.
He was so good last year. So underrated rookie.
He's going to be an absolute dog.
Especially not having to be a number one. Not that pressure.
You got Scary Terry over there. I think Dotson's going to be a dog.
He was crazy efficient in the red zone. He was making all the pylon catches. I like that. I think the Hotson can have a good year.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate that. All right, let's run through awards real quick. Let's give out our way too early awards, huh? MVP, Josh.
I'm torn between two, but I'm going to go with Joe Burrow. It just feels like a Joe Burrow situation to go out and be like, I want my contract to be able to still help the team, then have an MVP season and stick to his word and not take the top dollar he could. That just seems like a Joe Burrow situation to have his best season and not take all the money. So I'm going to go with Joe Burrow to get that MVP.
Give me Justin Herbert.
That was the other one I was teetering towards. I like the Quentin Johnson pickup.
Quentin Johnson, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen?
Yeah, because if one of them goes down, you still got those other two instead of it just being Mike
somebody's going to get hurt because it's the Chargers, so it's just bound to happen. How about the offensive player of the year?
Yeah, I'm going with the guy I talked about earlier, Justin Fields. I'm going with Justin Fields. He's going to get the numbers on the ground. He had over 1,000 last year, and I think his passing yards are going to go up touchdowns too. So I think Justin Fields is gonna win it, being a weapon like that.
I am going to go with. I'm going to go with Debo Samuel. I feel like we talk about how good he is and he puts up numbers. I think this is going to be like that big year, though. Like 1,400 yards receiving and 600 on the ground or something like that.
Everyone expects it to be CMC and it's going to be the Debo show. And yeah, I get that.
It's going to be a good year for the both of them. How about the defensive player of the year?
Sticking with my same pick last year. I think he finally gets it this year. I'm going Myles Garrett. He's got to get one. At some point, Myles Garrett is going to win Defensive Player of the Year. So I'm going to go with it this year. They picked up Zadarius Smith to go on the other side of him. So we'll see how long he plays good, and then he just sucks. So I think Myles Garrett got a little bit of help over there to take some pressure off. So going Myles Garrett.
Damn. You know what? Fine. You stuck with yours. I'll stick with mine from last year. I'm going to go with Derwin James.
Oh, if I was going DB, I'd go Sauce. I think Sauce would be.
I was going to you know what the craziest part is? That's what I was going to do. And then you kept your same pick. So I was like, screw it. I will too. How about the offensive rookie of the year?
Going with my boy Bryce Young. I don't think Andy Dalton starts. I think Bryce Young, they've already.
Oh, yeah, okay. I was like.
Yeah, they're saying Andy Dalton's first team. They said Andy Dalton's been getting all these first team reps, but no, I've said it since we traded for the number one pick. You don't trade up for it and take a guy and sit him. You don't give up all those assets to watch him learn. You give him up so he can be right away franchise player. And reports have been good out of camp, so I think he'll wind up starting week one. And I believe in our receiving core. It's not that good. It does not look too pretty with Thielen and Chark. But I have high hopes for Jonathan Mingo and Terrence Marshall to have a big second season. Mingo, our rookie out of Ole Miss, I think he's going to have a good rookie year. Hayden Hurst, very reliable tight end. So I think he's got all the tools and a very, impressive and veteran coaching staff to put him in the right situations too. So I'm going to go with my boy Bryce Young.
How about Bijan Robinson?
That's a favorite. That's a favorite right now. He's minus 120.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a favorite.
Damn, I thought I was doing something there when I said that because I didn't think a running back would be. Interesting.
He did go 7. So
I mean, yeah, but you expect the quarterbacks to be first, and then maybe a wide receiver, and
I think it's probably just because of the situations most of these quarterbacks are in. Stroud is gonna, just be in hell, and then Bryce Young, who knows what the Panthers are. Levis and Richardson, you don't know when they're gonna play. And the receivers usually aren't the favorites for that. But, Bijan, I don't know. I was going to pick Bijan, but I don't know. I feel like, he is the number 7 pick. He's going to be a big part of the offense, but I don't think he's going to be they have too many weapons over there. Algier was just a rookie over 1,000. Drake London is very good first-round pick last year. Kyle Pitts, you took in the top 5 the year before.
Yeah, we've been saying Kyle Pitts for how long? Man has like 1 touchdown.
But they got to keep trying with him, Like they got to try something.
I mean, you would think.
So I don't know. I think Bijan will be okay, but I think there's just going to be better rookies. I'd probably go with Gibbs before I go with him. I think Jahmyr Gibbs trading away Swift shows how much you believe in Jahmyr Gibbs. So
you're not wrong.
He'll have more of a role.
How about the defensive rookie of the year?
Yeah, I wanted to go with Jalen Carter, but I don't know how much of an opportunity he's going to have as a rookie with, their goals and how, veteran players they have up front. So I'm going to go with Will Anderson. I think he'll get all the opportunities, he could ask for in Houston. And, he's number 2 overall pick. So I'm going to go with Will Anderson.
Josh, you have to help me out with the name because I still don't know it yet. I'm going with my boy. The corner that we drafted this year, the Patriots.
Oh, Christian Gonzalez.
Oh, yeah.
Love that.
Everybody was talking about steal of the draft. We're going to prove how good of a steal it was. He's winning Rookie of the Year.
And, I mean, it can – because the Patriots are very good at developing corners. Like, they always seem to have a guy.
A corner. Malcolm Butler came out of nowhere.
Yeah. J.C. Jackson got a bag because of New England.
Got a bag.
They are good at developing corners.
That was the last time Darrelle Revis was good.
Yeah. Stephon Gilmore, too.
Dog.
I like that.
How about the comeback player of the year, which isn't even actually the comeback player of the year, because apparently it means you can have a bad season and then play good again, and that makes you a comeback player of the year. Don't know.
That's exactly. I was looking at the odds, and that's exactly all it was. Like it's DeMar Hamlin, it's Lamar Jackson, and then it's Russell Wilson. It's Derek Carr. Like it's not even players that missed the season. But I'm gonna go with Lamar. I feel like when did he get injured? Like what, week 9?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
See, because that's kind of where I like to put the cutoff, is close to mid-season. If you played till week 14 and then got benched because you were quote unquote injured, but you really just sucked, like Russell Wilson did and Derek Carr, I can't pick you. I could see DeMar Hamlin winning it though, even if he just plays
I was
games.
gonna say, if this dude plays like 3 games, he's winning.
Yeah. That's. I think DeMar Hamlin will probably win it, but I don't know how many games he's going to play. I'm not sure where he's at with his recovery and all that. But I'm gonna go with Lamar because, if DeMar doesn't play games, he's going to easily win it because it's Lamar Jackson.
Is Tua eligible for this reward?
Yeah, he was in the odds as well. Yeah.
All right, I'll go with Tua then, even though I caught him before. See, I'm making up for it now. I'll go with Tua. Why not? Well, listen, Josh, that wraps up all of our topics, which means you know what that does? It also wraps up the show. Now, with that being said, you can follow me on Twitter, @AnthonyConver_ for all my thoughts and everything. Make sure you go follow Gen Z on Twitter as well. Make sure you use promo code Gen Z to double your first deposit up to $200 on Underdog Fantasy. And had a great time. We'll be back next Monday. Josh?
Yeah, follow me on Twitter @Jolin_4. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, Generational Sports and Doubted Views. And like Connie said, head on over to Underdog. They're doing their biggest tournament ever. I think over $15 million in prizes, $1 million to the first place winner. So go over there. You want to do a couple entries into that. It's $25. You deposit $25, you get $25 with code Gen Z. So you can enter that twice at your chance at a lot of money. So head on over to Underdog and use code Gen Z.
All right. With all that being said, we will catch you on the next one. All right. Until then, y'all have a good one.